Warning. In case you completely disregarded the warning in the description, which we will put in the description of this video, hopefully, here it is again. This was a product of utter boredom, and is intended to be on the darker side of funny. If you have any sense of moral code, more than 12.78% of a soul, or empathy in any way, shape, or sort, don't read or listen. You have been warned. Contains unhealthy amounts of nonsensical, offensive, and adult things. Apostrophes.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, whatever. Read at your own risk.
Or listen.
Wait, who's... okay. Yeah, I'm breaking the fourth wall. Want to fight about it?
Yes.
So you're going to read it anyway, huh? Hey, your funeral. Okay, let's get on with this train wreck. Here we go. It was a bright sunny day in Equestria, blah blah blah. Insert overdone fanfic intro here. Pinky was trotting through Ponyville on her way to see Twilight. She discovered this strange thing in the Everfree Forest and wanted to let Twilight know. She approached the library and knocked on the door. Twilight poked her head out, mane in a mess.
Gah, what the hell do you want, Pinky? I'm kind of busy.
Pinky cocked her head in wonder about her friend's frazzled look.
Twilight,
She began.
have you been doing the nasty?
Twilight blinked several times.
Pinky, you have 3 seconds before I close the door.
Okay.
Blurted the pink party pony.
I found this strange thing in the Everfree Forest. It's called the Internet.
Twilight blinked lazily.
The fuck is an internet?
I don't know. I just found it in the Everfree Forest.
Responded Pinky. Twilight groaned.
God damn it, Pinky. It's like 7 in the morning. I'll be out in a couple minutes.
A male voice echoed a question from upstairs, not quite understandable to the pink pony outside.
Ha!
Retorted Pinky.
I knew you were doing the nasty.
Twilight groaned once again.
Like I said, I'll be out in a minute.
Twilight opened the door back up after about 10 minutes, and was greeted by Pinkie Pie.
All right.
She grumbled.
Let's see what you got your ass dragged into this time.
With that, they departed, on the way to the Everfree Forest.
So, what's up?
Inquired the hyperactive and under-medicated pink party pony. Couldn't read that for a second.
Gah, Pinky, I had a hell of a night, and your questions aren't helping much. Let's just go find what is so important so I can go back home.
Pinky's face contorted in thought.
Okay.
She blurted out. Out of the corner of her eye, Twilight saw Applejack approach.
Oh, hey, AJ.
She said.
Hey, Twi, you haven't seen that good-for-nothing brother of mine, have you? Lazy son bitch was supposed to slap the pigs. Sorry, I can't say I have.
Replied Twilight. Pinky.
Why don't we ask these people?
Twilight.
Pinky, stop talking to the audience.
Pinky.
But why?
Twilight.
Damn it, Pinky, you're breaking the fourth wall! Get back into your quotation marks!
Pinky.
Okay. Is that better?
In quotations. Asked Pinky, irritated at her current constraint of quotation marks.
Yes.
Responded the lavender unicorn, annoyed at Pinky for her careless breaking character. Regardless, Pinky continued to protest.
But every time I say something, the author's all like, replied the pink party pony, triple alliteration. Is that really necessary?
Double question mark.
Pinky,
Responded Twilight.
don't question the author. He could scrub you like that.
Pinky's face contorted in challenge.
Ha! I'd like to see him try. I bet he lives with his grandma or something. I bet he's a clobber. I bet he gets his sick kicks from...
She was cut short by the impact of an anvil soaring from the sky, smashing into her skull, shattering her spine, in fact, and driving the rest of her into the ground with a nasty splat.
God damn it, Pinky, what did I tell you?
Hollered Twilight. She let out a sigh.
Well, she held the only knowledge to continue the godforsaken plotline. So now what?
Applejack shrugged.
Want to go to the Everfree Forest?
Twilight sighed.
Why not?
With that, the two trotted down the dirt road leading to the Everfree Forest, and before long reached the entrance to it. Its long vines and dark trees were, for the most part, the reason ponies?
Hey, Twilight,
Asked Applejack.
why is it that every pony is terrified of the Everfree Forest, but we explore it on a regular basis? I mean, really, half the time it seems dangerous, and half the time it's just as safe as the rest of the world. I mean, for God's sakes, a pony, well, zebra to be accurate, lives in there. It's just a big break in continuity, is all I'm saying.
You know, I'd like to point out, she said God's sake. Yeah, there's no God, for all we know.
There's Celestia.
Twilight blinked several times.
Applejack, get back into character.
Well, that worked out quite well. Applejack let out a sigh.
Fine. Gee, sure is a sight, this place. I bet all sorts of creepy crawlies are looking forward to snacking on us.
Twilight perked back a bit.
That's better.
Twilight and Applejack ventured inside.
So what exactly are we doing here?
Asked Applejack.
Hell if I know.
Responded Twilight.
It was your idea.
Applejack looked around. There was little about this place to judge your location. If you've seen one Everfree tree, you've seen them all. Applejack spotted a faint glow in the distance.
Hey, Twi, what's that?
Twilight looked in the direction AJ was gazing in, and began to approach the dim blue light.
I don't know.
She responded plainly.
Let's check it out.
She trotted up where the glow came from. It was a table holding up some sort of display hooked up to a rectangular piece of some sort of machinery that hummed quietly. A small sticky note was placed on top of the display. The Internet.
Huh.
Twilight said plainly.
So this is what Pinkie Pie was telling us about.
She poked at the display, seeing if anything would change. Only a small distortion responded to her poke.
Well, it's not a portal.
Thought Twilight out loud. She poked at the keyboard, but again nothing happened. It wasn't until she prodded a small circular button with a slash through it that the machine hummed quickly, and much louder than before. Twilight let out a yelp and fell back, terrified of the strange device left in the forest. Before long, several messages popped up before presenting Twilight with a screen of rolling green hills and an open sky.
Well, that's weird.
Thought Twilight.
A location on the screen that isn't a portal?
Who even still uses that background?
No one.
Applejack was shifting nervously behind her.
Are you sure it's safe to be out here at this time of night? It seems a little risky.
Twilight turned around and addressed her friend.
Nah.
She said,
As long as we keep the plot diverted from the fact that we are, in fact, in the Everfree, nothing will attack us. That's how the Everfree Forest works. Otherwise, all the other TV plotlines that took place in here wouldn't work. Think about Season 2, Episode 6, where Apple Bloom has to visit Zecora. A plot like that would be interrupted by all sorts of animal attacks if the Everfree worked in a logical sense.
AJ blinked several times.
What?
She asked. Twilight responded immediately.
Damn it, Applejack! Don't misspell things! You know how fast the readers will jump on that!
Applejack stared at her in a face full of emptiness, obviously not grasping the situation.
Okay.
Twilight groaned and went back to the strange device. She poked the mouse and noted a small movement of the arrow on the screen.
Huh.
She thought.
I wonder if this thing can select things too.
With that, she clicked with the small left section of the mouse on an icon labeled Internet Explorer. You know, logically I would think they'd go to the right click first, but whatever. Images raced across the screen.
The fuck is a Yahoo? And why are all these nasty hairless monkeys on this thing?
She clicked on a tab marked 4chan. She said, observing the various images and posts flashing on the screen.
Okay. Wait, what's /b/? Well, one way to find out.
With that, she clicked on the link. About 4.567 seconds passed before the first post displayed on her screen.
Holy fuck! What is that? Oh, God! No! No!
Applejack jumped at the sudden outburst.
Twilight, just what was all that about?
She received no answer as the lavender unicorn bolted past her towards the exit of the Everfree Forest.
Twilight, wait up!
She panted heavily. She was an athletic pony, but even that couldn't help her keep up with Twilight.
What was it? No!
Twilight called back.
Never again! Never again!
And now we are on to Chapter 2. The name of Chapter 2 is Help from Celestia. Here we go.
Twilight? Twilight, you in here?
Called out Applejack in the doorway of Twilight's library. The shades were closed, and no light filtered in, despite the daylight outside. Okay. She creeped in, a chill running down her back.
If you're playing a prank on me, it ain't funny.
Applejack found herself at the bottom of the large, circular staircase carved into the tree itself. Her hoofsteps echoed around the inside of the library as she made her way step by step into Twilight's room.
You in here?
She asked out timidly. Her eyes scanned the room, searching for a hint of her friend. Through the darkness, she spotted a small lavender lump shaking furiously in the corner of Twilight's room.
Is that you?
Applejack called out once more. She approached the small form, and indeed, it was Twilight Sparkle.
Hey, Sugar Cube.
She began.
You alright?
Twilight shuddered in response. Applejack placed a hoof on her shoulder, quieting the unicorn's shaking some.
What happened out there in the Everfree, Twi?
She inquired, desperate for answers. Twilight choked out a few sentences between sobs.
I went to a place that they called 4chan. I saw a button that led to a place called /b/. I clicked on it.
Sobs rocked the unicorn. Applejack still couldn't understand what had happened. What was a 4chan? And what did clicking on it something mean?
Twilight,
She began.
I don't understand. What was that thing anyway? What did it do to you?
Twilight held her weeping for a brief moment and choked out a response.
It was Furry Friday!
More inconsolable weeping took over the unicorn. Applejack had never seen her this way. Whatever that thing was, it was bad, and it had to be removed. She shuddered at the thought of returning to the Everfree, however, despite the explanation about the whole keep the plot diverted from the Everfree speech that Twilight had given her. She needed help. Powerful help. She needed Princess Celestia.
Jesus Christ.
The hero Ponyville deserves.
Stop.
All right. A loud knocking interrupted Princess Celestia's careful handwriting.
Hello?
She called out.
Who is it?
An orange head poked through her chamber doors. A certain uneasiness was about her.
Oh, hello, Princess.
Applejack began.
I need your help. Something bad has happened. Real bad. Twilight found this thing in the Everfree Forest. Whatever it was, it spooked her pretty bad.
Princess Celestia's face contorted in both confusion and thought.
What was it?
She asked plainly.
I think it was called an internet or something like that.
Applejack responded. Princess Celestia gasped quietly.
The internet.
She thought she vanquished that foe long ago.
Princess?
Began Applejack.
What's wrong?
Celestia let out a sigh, and then began.
The internet is the makings of discord. It's essentially an invisible web that connects these devices called computers all across Equestria. That thing you found in the Everfree Forest must have been a computer, one of the last surviving devices. At first, when the internet first came about, it was brilliant. Any pony could post something funny or scary or intriguing or whatever. It connected ponies like never before.
The princess's stature lowered.
But then it all turned down a dark path. Ponies started abusing the newfound power they had. They began purposefully angering and agitating other ponies purely for the sake of amusement. We began calling these troublemakers trolls. Before long, nearly all ponies who had access to a computer began to troll. Even I found myself seduced by the sheer hilarity of seeing another pony freak out on the other side of a conversation. Ponies even took to calling me Trollestia.
Gotcha. The princess shuddered, remembering the acts she had committed.
It was then
She began.
that I decided to end this plague on Equestria once and for all. What did you do?
Asked Applejack, intrigued by Celestia's story.
I trolled the internet into oblivion.
Replied Celestia, shame still evident in her voice.
Is that what you have to do now?
The princess nodded in agreement.
I'm afraid so.
Applejack's face once again contorted in thought.
Well, what about Twilight? She's still mortified from what happened.
Celestia sighed.
I'm afraid there's nothing we can do. What's done is done. She just has to cope with it herself. So now what?
Asked AJ, eager to find out the next step in their plan to banish this evil from Equestria once and for all.
I'm going to need some Mountain Dew.
Replied Princess Celestia.
If I'm going to have to do this again, I'm going in prepared. In the meantime, try and live life as normal. The worst possible thing you can do is let this whole situation get to you. The trolls feed off your misery. Anyway, I'll be here preparing. This is going to get interesting.
All right.
This is wonderful.
On to chapter 3.
Where is it?
The Mountain Dew.
Where is it?
There
okay,
we
there
go.
it is.
And the name of chapter 3 is Diabetes and Rainbow Pop-Tarts.
The fuck?
All right, here we go. Applejack trotted through Ponyville Town Square, a certain uneasiness seeping into her mind. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw a pink splotch.
Must be seeing things.
She thought to herself. It wasn't until a familiar voice called out to her that she realized she wasn't mistaken.
Oh, hi, Applejack!
It called out. Applejack whipped to the direction of the voice.
What? Pinky? Is that you? Weren't you crushed by a fallen anvil?
Yeah, but I guess the author decided to put me back in. Funny how things happen, isn't it?
Yeah. Funny.
Applejack trailed off as she witnessed Pinky pull out a small pin and prick just above her hoof, just before injecting a yellowish liquid into her from a bulky pen-like apparatus.
Pinky, what are you doing?
She inquired nervously.
I'm taking my insulin, just like I do every day.
Responded Pinky, surprised that Applejack didn't know that about her.
You didn't know that I'm diabetic?
No, you never told us.
Said Applejack, still in disbelief.
Really, Applejack? 20-some years of continuous and habitual ingestion of complete and utter garbage, and you honestly didn't expect an adverse health effect? You're truly surprised that eating nothing but pastries and candies has led to diabetes?
Well, now that you put it that way.
Even the audience could guess that at this point.
Pinky, didn't Twilight say something about breaking the fourth wall?
Fuck the fourth wall! I died like an hour ago! Who cares about the damn fourth wall?
Gee, Pinky, calm down.
Calm down! I just died! I have diabetes and apparently no pony cares enough to know about it! Shit!
She paused, frustration slowly subsiding.
Sorry about that, AJ. Forgot to take my bipolar medicine this morning.
Applejack twisted her face in confusion once more.
You're bipolar?
Princess Celestia perked up. She heard the scream.
Oh no.
She whispered. This was how it started. It was that familiar combination of 7 F's, 12 U's, and all caps.
It's starting.
The internet was starting to manifest itself in Equestria. Pinky's outburst was a warning signal. If action wasn't taken soon, ponies would be unable to spell words correctly, and cats would appear from nowhere in the hundreds. Celestia shuddered at the thought. She gazed outside her tower window, observing the horizon. Her ears twitched as a repetitive but catchy song became just audible to equine ears. It was so familiar. Where had she heard it before? Her thoughts were interrupted by a rainbow streak across the sky. Oh, Jesus.
a little early for Rainbow Dash to be out.
She thought aloud.
It's not even 11 yet.
Her eyes widened as she realized that it was not, in fact, Rainbow Dash. Upon closer inspection, the shape was pixelated. It was then she realized that the song seemed to be somehow resonating from the rainbow sprouting creature. The shape was mostly a pink block with gray at its front, and a rainbow flying from its backside. She gasped out loud, and almost fell back as she remembered exactly where this song was from. Alright, fine, I'm gonna do it. Fine, I'll fucking do it. With that, the shape was gone. The catchy tune along with it. Her face filled with dread. The first internet invasion had taken over quickly. But not this quickly.
This is going to be one hell of a fight.
And that is the end of Chapter 3.